What's the issue with you and YoungBoy? Like, how did it start? Because there's a ton of
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't.
These niggas watch me from a jail cell, man. These niggas watch me from a jail cell and be on my dick so bad, nigga. Niggas bitches. Niggas be writing academics about me, man. Telling academics to post shit about me. Niggas hoes. I ain't never paid attention to a nigga, especially from no motherfucking cell, nigga.
The moment NBA YoungBoy dropped those cryptic messages on social media. No names, no explanations, just a cold warning that instantly sent fans into panic mode. For someone known for disappearing into silence, YoungBoy choosing to speak, even in fragments, hit harder than any full-blown public statement. And that's exactly where the whispers started, because when someone like YoungBoy says he feels watched, people pay attention. When someone with his history posts about snakes, energy shifting, and being ready for whatever, the culture doesn't see it as random mood swings. They see it as a sign something behind the scenes is brewing. Blogs immediately jumped on the story. Commentators started piecing together old interviews, legal tension, industry beefs, and past loyalty issues to build theories about what YoungBoy was hinting at. And suddenly the storyline transformed into something bigger than a simple late-night rant. Fans began suggesting that YoungBoy wasn't just paranoid. He was aware of someone trying to tear him down, someone trying to push him into a corner, someone trying to see him fall. And while nobody had facts, the pattern was enough to fuel endless speculation. People began pointing out how often YoungBoy has found himself at odds with the industry. They talked about the pressure, the expectations, the critics, the surveillance, the endless drama. Some claimed that YoungBoy's isolation, from living in Utah to avoiding public appearances, wasn't a random lifestyle choice but a protective strategy. Others said these latest posts were just the newest sign that the circle around him had grown darker, heavier, and more unpredictable. Whether it was real danger or just the weight of being one of the most watched young rappers alive, the internet believed YoungBoy was signaling distress. Then it got deeper. Fans brought up moments from past years where YoungBoy hinted about people who pretend they want you to win, friends who switch sides, and the cost of staying real. They connected these dots to his latest messages, suggesting YoungBoy feels someone is trying to sabotage him, not physically but mentally, financially, and artistically. They think he sees the red flags and knows exactly where the energy is coming from, even if he'll never say it directly. Within hours, timelines across social media were flooded with warnings, prayers, memes, theories, and heated debates. Some fans joked about YoungBoy being dramatic, while others insisted this was not the moment to play around. The atmosphere felt like the calm before a storm, one only YoungBoy truly understood. And based on the way he worded those messages, he didn't sound confused. He didn't sound surprised. He sounded like someone who already knew the source of the pressure and was simply waiting for them to show their hand. YoungBoy's post didn't accuse anybody, but the internet didn't need names. The culture had already decided. Someone was trying to dim his light, and he could feel it. Once the speculation started, new details made everything even wilder. Reports came out claiming YoungBoy had suddenly upgraded his security. Not just a small increase, but a major shift in how he moves. Sources said he requested more controlled environments, stricter check-ins, and fewer outside contacts. Even though nothing official was confirmed, people connected this to his cryptic warnings. To the outside world, these shifts looked like the behavior of someone preparing for unknown pressure. Fans on Reddit pointed out something else. YoungBoy has spoken before about not trusting the industry and about feeling like the bigger he gets, the more people want to see him fall. Comments began stacking up from people suggesting jealousy, old rivalries, and business politics could be behind his stress. Again, nothing was tied to any individual, but the idea that someone wanted to sabotage YoungBoy became the mainstream narrative overnight. The blogs took things even further. Some claimed YoungBoy had been boxed out of certain industry circles. Others said powerful people were upset about him staying independent. Some even suggested that YoungBoy's refusal to play by industry rules made him a target of behind-the-scenes pressure. While none of those claims were proven, fans didn't care. They felt something was off, and the timing seemed too perfect to ignore. Music insiders pointed out how often artists who don't conform to the industry mold face backlash. They get criticized more, surveilled more, and pressured more.
Niggas quit playing with me around this bitch, nigga. We ain't nowhere near Detroit. We down here in they shit, and niggas hoes. Fuck is you talking about? And I'm on Tay-Tay phone because my phone dead. Fuck is you talking about? NBA niggas ain't on shit down to this bitch, nigga. Fuck niggas talking about. Nigga, I'm from Detroit. I ain't moved down to this bitch, nigga. Caught your big homie lacking in the mall. He trying to speak to niggas. Come on, what up? What's up with all that big stepper shit, Slam? Fuck is you talking about? Soft ass nigga.
YoungBoy, one of the most streamed artists on the planet, rarely participates in industry events, award shows, collaborations, interviews, or networking. He built his career by staying far outside the machine, and that's something many people believe could create hidden tensions. Then you had fan theories that YoungBoy's emotional state has been on a roller coaster lately. Cryptic posts about trust, loyalty, betrayal, and people who smile in your face but plot on your downfall only added gasoline to the fire. Even if nobody was physically after him, it was clear fans believed YoungBoy's mental pressure came from somewhere. And when someone with his platform makes comments that suggest danger, people listen. In the middle of all this, rumors surfaced claiming YoungBoy had cut contact with certain individuals who used to be part of his life. Nobody knew if it was personal, professional, or both, but that silence only made speculation increase. Fans love connecting dots, even if some dots don't exist. And the internet created a storm YoungBoy never directly addressed. But the biggest shift came from a new theory, that YoungBoy wasn't worried about enemies. He was worried about people he once trusted. This idea caught fire instantly. Tweet after tweet went viral, claiming YoungBoy's post sounded like warnings about betrayal, not outside attackers. People said he looked calm but guarded, the type of calm a person has when they already know who wants to see them down. Whether true or not, the culture believed it. And because YoungBoy didn't deny anything, the story only grew. The moment YoungBoy went quiet after the posts, fans lost their minds. Silence from someone who usually reacts instantly became its own message. People started digging deeper into his recent activity. They noticed he had unfollowed a few pages. They noticed changes in his tone. They noticed shifts in his music. Even subtle things like him not smiling in recent videos were treated as signs something bigger was happening behind the scenes. Some fans pointed out how often influential artists face internal pressure when they reach a level that threatens the system. To them, YoungBoy wasn't just dealing with street energy, he was dealing with business energy. Labels that couldn't control him, executives that couldn't predict him, media outlets that couldn't influence him. He was too big, too independent, too unpredictable. The idea became clear. YoungBoy wasn't scared of someone plotting against him. He was warning someone that he already knew the truth. This is when the hit narrative exploded, not as a literal threat, but as a metaphor for someone trying to damage his career. People said hit didn't mean violence, it meant sabotage. A career hit, a character hit, a reputation hit, something planned to knock him off his path. Fans began referencing past issues where YoungBoy felt manipulated or pressured by outside forces. How often he talked about fake loyalty. How often he said people around him weren't who they pretended to be. These old statements resurfaced, giving new weight to his latest warnings. People said YoungBoy wasn't paranoid. He was reacting to real patterns. The story then took a turn when commentators noticed YoungBoy's family members unfollowed certain pages. Again, nothing confirmed, nothing official, but the timing stirred up more questions than answers. People claimed this meant his inner circle was tightening. Others suggested someone close to YoungBoy had recently switched sides, or at least created tension. Meanwhile, music insiders pointed out how YoungBoy has become a massive financial force. His streaming numbers are ridiculous, his fan base is loyal beyond belief, and any disruption to his image would affect a lot of money, both for him and for the people connected to his success. That alone was enough to make fans believe someone might have motives to create pressure around him. During this entire swirl of chaos, YoungBoy kept quiet. Not a tweet, not a post, not a live stream. And in hip-hop, silence is loud. Fans interpreted his quiet as confirmation that things behind the scenes were getting more serious. While some people joked about the situation, others took it as a warning sign that YoungBoy was dealing with emotional and psychological stress from the weight of fame, expectations, and industry politics. Regardless of what was real or imagined, the culture was convinced YoungBoy felt betrayed by someone, or at least felt a darkness closing in. If there's one thing fans know, it's this. YoungBoy never speaks without reason. This is where the situation took an unexpected turn. People began comparing YoungBoy's cryptic behavior to patterns they've seen in other artists right before major life changes. When big stars feel watched or targeted, whether by pressure, business politics, or snakes in their circle, they often express themselves in indirect ways. YoungBoy's messaging fell right into that category, which only fueled speculation. Some online commentators said YoungBoy's energy felt like he was distancing himself from someone he no longer trusted. They pointed out that his sudden silence, paired with security changes, made it seem like he was cutting off access, not because of violence, but because of emotional betrayal or business tension. Other bloggers claimed YoungBoy had been advised to lay low for a while to avoid escalating certain situations publicly. They said the cryptic messages were his way of communicating without exposing details, a common move among artists dealing with internal stress. During this time, fans noticed YoungBoy's music took a darker tone. His lyrics contained more lines about betrayal, hidden agendas, and being isolated. Of course, this could simply be artistic expression, but in the context of his posts, fans treated every word like a clue. Behind the scenes, multiple sources claimed YoungBoy wasn't in physical danger, but was dealing with intense pressure from competing interests around him. Label politics, media criticism, online hate, and the struggles of maintaining privacy while being a public figure. These sources said the energy around him was chaotic, not deadly. Then came the rumor that really rocked the fan base. Some bloggers claimed YoungBoy recently confronted someone who tried to interfere with his career decisions. Again, no proof, no names, nothing official, but the story spread like wildfire. People began suggesting this confrontation was the reason for the cryptic warnings. Others said YoungBoy's anxiety came from feeling boxed in. Life in Utah was peaceful, but also isolating. Fans speculated that he wanted out, wanted to move differently, wanted more independence. Some suggested he was tired of being judged, watched, and criticized at every turn. And those emotions are what fueled his cryptic warnings. As with all speculation, nothing was confirmed. But the belief that YoungBoy sensed betrayal stayed strong, and because he didn't deny anything, the theories kept growing. That's how rumors work. Silence becomes confirmation. All of this came together to form a narrative where YoungBoy wasn't running from danger. He was preparing to stand alone. He knew who wasn't loyal. He knew who tried to disrupt him. He knew whose energy didn't belong around him anymore. Weeks after the initial posts, a new wave of speculation hit social media. People noticed YoungBoy began posting more positive messages, but still cryptic. Quotes about moving smarter, letting go of dead weight, staying focused, and seeing the truth even when it hurts suggested the situation had shifted. This is when fans came up with a new theory. YoungBoy wasn't worried about danger anymore because he had already handled the situation. Whether that meant distancing himself from certain individuals or making new business moves, nobody knew. But the change in energy made people believe he had regained control. Music insiders claimed YoungBoy recently reorganized his team. Some people stepped back, others stepped in. The shifts were subtle, but enough to fuel the idea that YoungBoy was cleaning house. As always, none of this was confirmed, but fans could feel the shift. At this point, the hit narrative evolved again. Now people said the hit was never about violence. It was about pressure, sabotage, or emotional manipulation. And YoungBoy's response wasn't fear, it was strategic silence. Analysts pointed out how common it is for artists to deal with behind-the-scenes politics that fans never see. When you're young, powerful, unpredictable, and not part of the industry machine, you become a target for criticism, control, and doubt. YoungBoy has always moved differently than most artists, something people admire, but something that also brings heat. Fans also noticed YoungBoy's streaming numbers remained massive throughout the chaos. His music didn't slow down, his popularity didn't dip. The danger people speculated about didn't stop him, it just made people talk even more. Then came another viral moment. Someone shared a clip of YoungBoy speaking about trusting himself and protecting his peace. This clip sparked a whole new wave of praise, with fans saying he wasn't scared, he was aware, he wasn't panicking, he was preparing, he wasn't hiding, he was elevating, and that's when the narrative fully transformed. YoungBoy wasn't the victim of a plot, he wasn't being targeted by enemies, he wasn't being hunted by anyone. He was simply dealing with the weight of fame, betrayal, and the pressure of being one of the most influential artists of his generation. The hit that people originally thought meant danger now symbolized stress, pressure, backstabbing, fake love, hidden agendas, and YoungBoy knowing exactly where that negative energy came from. In the end, fans didn't need the details. They understood one thing clearly. YoungBoy sensed a shift and reacted the only way he knows how, by pulling back, watching carefully, and making moves in silence. Now that the smoke has settled, one thing is obvious. The entire situation says more about the culture surrounding NBA YoungBoy than anything else. Anytime he breathes differently, the internet assumes danger. Anytime he goes quiet, people hear alarms. Anytime he posts vague messages, blogs start building entire storylines. That's what happens when an artist becomes larger than life. Every move becomes a signal, every silence becomes a message, and every rumor becomes gospel. In reality, YoungBoy's cryptic energy likely comes from the pressure of fame, the weight of expectations, and the difficulty of trusting people in a world where loyalty is rare. The theories about hits, betrayal, and enemies say more about fan paranoia than YoungBoy himself. But there's truth hidden inside the exaggeration. YoungBoy does move like someone who's seen too much, lost too many people, and learned the hard way that not everyone wants to see him win. Fans believe he knows who's behind the negativity because they see patterns in the industry. They've watched artists rise and fall. They've watched careers crumble from sabotage, manipulation, or shady business. So when YoungBoy hints at danger, they don't take it lightly. They interpret everything as a warning because they understand how messy the entertainment world can get. But through all of this, YoungBoy hasn't slowed down. His music is still charting, his fan base is still loyal, his influence is still strong. Despite the rumors, the theories, the online panic, YoungBoy continues to move with the same intensity he always has. Focused, determined, and unbothered by noise. What fans learned through this saga is that YoungBoy is more aware and intentional than people realize. He doesn't post without meaning, he doesn't speak without purpose, and he doesn't fear the unknown, he prepares for it. The entire situation was a reminder that being at the top comes with shadows. People will gossip, people will speculate, people will invent enemies. But YoungBoy knows what's real and what's noise. And that's why he didn't spiral, didn't panic, didn't lash out. Instead, he stepped back, sharpened his circle, and moved smarter. Whether this was about betrayal, stress, industry politics, or simply mental clarity, only YoungBoy knows the truth. But one thing is certain, he's not hiding, he's not folding, he's not running from anybody. He's watching, he's learning, and he's preparing for whatever comes next. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the real breakdowns behind the headlines.